Bhutale Swayam Rupakata Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram. Okay, so 2.25 we are in. So we saw how the body, the soul is imperishable, right? It cannot be cut with any weapons or it cannot be destroyed. So that's what we stopped. Yeah, we had a breakout room. Yeah, the battlefield of Kurukshetra, different from modern terrorism. We saw that. And so we'll go to 25th sloka. So 25th sloka says, Avyakto ayam achintyo ayam apikaryo ayam uchyate tasmadevam viditvainam nanushochitam arhasi. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body, right? So Krishna is motivating. It is said that Arjuna acted like the first depressed candidate, in the sense depressed person, and Krishna was the counselor there. So Arjuna can never be like that. He's a Kshatriya, but he's taking the role so that for us, it will be helpful, right? Because we conditioned soul, we need that counseling. So Bhagavad Gita is actually a life manual, in the sense the best counseling book also. Like whenever we are depressed in life, we can just go through Bhagavad Gita teachings. It's not a religious book. It says that whatever happens to the body, it's according to our karma and everything. But then to understand that the soul is invisible and inconceivable, immutable, we should not grieve for the body. Whatever happens to the body, it's just external. It's non-permanent, right? This body is non-permanent. So we should not grieve for the body. So it is very difficult to apply. Practical application is very difficult, but at least the first level is the theoretical knowledge should come to us. So the magnitude of the soul, as we know, what is it? What's the magnitude of the soul? You can have
1 by 10,000 of the hair end.
Yeah. So Siddharth Prabhu will have raised hands from now. So yes, 1 by 10,000, the tip of the hair. So small that of our material calculation that it cannot be even seen by the most powerful microscope. Therefore, is invisible. As far as the soul's existence is concerned, there's a consciousness, right? But no one can establish this existence experimentally beyond the proof of Shruti or Vedic wisdom. Yeah, and there is no source of understanding the soul except by the studies of Vedas. So this is called Shruti Praman. Vedas are called Shruti. So Shruti means we have to hear from the authorities, from the right source, at the right moment. Okay, so except studying from the Vedas, there is no other source of understanding the Vedas. So constitution of the soul, this is what we saw, like it cannot be moistened by water and not weathered by wind. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire. So that's why when people undergo like suicide, either by burning themselves or jumping into the water or with some weapon, anything. So it is actually why suicide is happening, because of some depression case, mainly because of relationship problems, some monetary problems, some job problems, something, relationship, something that they are not able to bear the suffering. So they think when you end that body, all that suffering ends. That's what they think. But it continues, right? Even in the next life. And whoever, what is the result of that soul who have suicided, the body of the soul who have suicided? Can I have raised hands? What is going to happen to that soul? Yes, Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, the soul remains in the material world only until he gets new body.
Okay, so what is that condition called as? Yes, you are right.
It's called Pretatma.
That means the ghost form, right?
Yeah.
Ghost form. So then when will it go to the next body? And what will be the next body? Mamta Mataji, what is going to be the next body of that soul?
Mataji, he has to do the suffering, which he didn't do it, right? He has to complete his suffering. That's what he got.
Suffering, but what is the body the soul is going to get?
The last.
Okay. Siddharth Prabhu, Yes, iPhone.
Sorry, Hare Krishna, I was not able to unmute. So he will get the body of the last thought that he had.
You mean the human? Only humans do suicide, right? Animals cannot do suicide.
Right,
So
right. So he will
you
get a
mean
human.
they're going to get human only? Okay. So the iPhone, who's this iPhone?
Oh, sorry, Madam Dr. Ponraj.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, the body, they get the soul get the stula, Suchma Sarira.
What?
Suchma Sarira, madam.
Sukshma. Okay, Sukshma. No. Yes, that is when during the period, right? Where after suicide, after that, the ghostly form, that Sukshma, that subtle body, that's fine. But the next Janma, what will be the next Janma? Okay, so Siddharth Prabhu says it's a human. Your child have an iPhone, okay, and you gave the iPhone, and the child doesn't know to use the iPhone properly, and he destroys the iPhone some way or something happens to the iPhone. And will you give the iPhone to the child again? Will you take a risk, or will you wait for the child to become matured and then give? Till then, you might give another low standard phones, right? So that means, or you gave a phone to your friend, and the friend doesn't know the use of the phone. The friend uses the phone as a paperweight. There's some papers on the table and use it as a paperweight. Don't know the use of that phone. Or you have sandalwood at home, and somebody cuts that sandalwood, in the sense the tree, and uses as firewood. Don't know the value. The chandan or sandal is very costly, right? So those who know, they know. But they because of ignorance, they cut it and use it as firewood. So will you give chandan again to that person? So similarly, human form was given to a soul, and that soul misused it. Like, I'm supposed to live up to the age of 50, and I commit suicide at the age of 30, 20 years. Okay, 30, 50 minus 30, 20 years. My soul will not be given another body because I'm supposed to be in that human body till my 50. That means 20 more years. But since I myself ended, I don't have any rights to take away the life which Lord has given. But since I did that out of ignorance, out of some mental problem, I did that. And that soul, as Mataji said, it will be Pretatma, in the sense Bhutatma, it will be a ghost form. Ghost form, as Prabhu said, the subtle body, it will be there. Sukshma Shari, it will be like that. It doesn't have a gross body, and it's a very painful condition, it says. So after giving the human body, and we misused this, in the sense we didn't use it for a higher purpose, but we destroyed it ourselves. Will material nature give us a human body next? No. Why should you give it? Because we have given iPhone to the child, and the child misused it. Will you give the iPhone again to the child? So similarly, the human form will not be given to that soul. Instead, the soul will go to anybody can answer. Yeah, Mataji.
Some lower species, maybe tree or something.
Like lower species, like
Animals?
animals. So it'll go to an animal form of life. That soul will not be given a human form next. Instead, will go to an animal form. That's why Shastra says the suicide is not a solution for any problems in our life. Actually, this should be in our college and where this studies. At least the second chapter should be included in our curriculum, so that we can avoid so many suicide rates, especially for teenagers and everything. So much pressure they have, right? So this we should know that it's a sin. Actually, it's a sin. And if somebody have committed suicide, we can pray for that soul so that they don't degrade. But yes, they go to the animal form. And as Prabhu said, he has to again go to the human form so as to enjoy or suffer that karma. Again, after so many janmas, he or she, that soul, will get a human form. But after going to animal species, not immediately. Sometimes they might even going to hellish planets. Okay, that's possible. But the 20 years, they'll be in this material world. But then after that, next life will be animal. Yes, Siddharth.
We have to accept this as a scriptural injunction. So there is no doubt in my mind.
Yes,
but
yes.
I was just thinking that the suffering, the intensity of suffering can happen only in human consciousness more. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know whether I'm right or not. So perhaps the more pain will happen in a human form than in other form. I mean, the feeling of consciousness will give more pain as a punishment. So I mean that's a logical thing, but
You will get
we have to-
that soul will get human form next, sure, but not immediately. It will take so many janmas, not immediately, because we have misused this form of human form. So that's the greatest punishment, Prabhu. Human form is not the greatest. It's a boon to get a human form. Durlabha manusya janma. It's very a boon to get a human form. So it's a punishment given. Like yes, pain is, but then animals are slaughtered, animals are half killed, animals are attacked, and whatnot. What all is happening? They also suffer pain. When you kill an animal, it also cries. But then it's a stage of ignorance, right? They can't go to a higher purpose. They can't try for liberation. They can't cut the chain of birth, death, old age, disease. So it's a punishment given by going into a low form of life or animal form. But again, after that particular karma is over, again, human form is given. Again, the suffering continues, right? The suffering is still there. So suicide is not a solution for to end our sufferings. Instead, the body should concentrate more on the soul, and the spiritual path will take them away from suffering. So here, so the individual soul, as we said, it is inconceivable and immutable, and that's what the chapter mainly is about. Adachainam nityajatam nityam vamanyashendritam tatapi tvam mahabaho nainam shojitam arhasi. If however you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty armed Arjuna. So that means even if you think you are the soul, then why are you worried about that soul? Because the soul doesn't die, right? So if you worry about the soul, if you worry of the body also, there's no use of lamenting. No one laments for the loss of a certain bulk of chemicals, because body is supposed to be full of chemicals and stops discharging his prescribed duty. So in any case, whether Arjuna accepted the Vedic conclusion that there is atomic soul, or he did not believe in the existence of the soul, there is no reason to lament. So Arjuna is called as Mahabahu. What does that mean? Mahabahu. Verse number 26.
is ambidextrous. Mahabhav, I mean, very, very powerful. With his hand,
Having strong hands
strong
or shoulders.
hands.
Yeah, Jyoti Mataji, what is it? Snigdha Mataji. You're hearing something?
Mighty armed
Yeah.
Arjun.
Okay. So
Very
that's strong, very powerful or strong. So that means Arjuna being so strong, he need not lament for all these silly reasons. That's what Krishna says. So you should know that we are the spirit soul and there is no death for the soul. Jadasya hi dhruvam mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmat apariharyate natvam shojitam arhasi. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. And after that, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. So he's like, all of those people who have come in the Kurukshetra war has to die. They have taken birth, they have to die. And if they have died, they'll definitely take birth again, right? Unless they are liberated. So why are you lamenting? You should not lament, because anyway, there is Punarjanma. There will be rebirth again and again. Except in which place? Put in the chat. Except in which place there is no Punarjanma. So Krishna defeats Arjuna's argument of compassion by saying that Dhruvo Janma Mritasya Cha, one who has taken his birth is sure to die. Okay, he says that yes, you have taken birth, everybody have taken birth, they will die.
dying.
You know, liberation is not there in the spiritual world. Yes, Shweta Mataji says spiritual world. Which are they? Prabhu says Vaikuntha and one more place. Yeah, spiritual world. There are two types. There are different types of spiritual world. One is Vaikuntha. Goloka Dham, good. Pushti Mataji says Goloka. Yes, Goloka. All the Vaikuntha planets, Goloka. And also there is Mathura Dham, there's Ayodhya Dham, Jagannath Puri. So all of these are also spiritual world. Okay. So in Bhagavad Gita, Adi Shankaracharya also says, Punarabhicharanam, Punarabhimaranam, Punarabhicharani, Chadari Shayanam. Iha samsare kaludushtera, Krupaye pare, pahi munare. Punarabhijana. Again one is born, again one is dead. Again and again one dies. Again and again one sleeps in mother's womb. And helping to cross this limitless sea of life, which is uncrossable, my Lord. Okay, pahi murare, Krishna is God. So it says only Krishna can give us moksha. Mukti pradadam sarvesham Vishnu revana samshaya. Nobody else can give us liberation. Lord Shiva himself says that only Lord Vishnu, Krishna can give us liberation because he himself is liberated. There's an analogy is we are tied up, okay, in our hands and legs and we are put into an river or ocean. Can we untie ourselves? No. Somebody else who's untied, only free, can come and untie us. So that means somebody who's liberated only can free us. We ourselves or others, we are all conditioned souls. So we are tied up with what? What are the handcuffs we have? Siddharth Prabhu.
We are tied up with our karma and desire. And
Karma,
Mukunda,
desires,
and
Karma,
Mukunda,
Krodha, Loka.
and Mukunda is
three gunas.
Mukti.
the three gunas, very good, Prabhu. Yeah. And one more, who else? Yeah, Prithvi Mataji says senses. Yeah, we tied up with our senses, the three modes. Then, Snigdha Mataji.
Three
We are
modes, Mataji, three modes of nature.
The three modes. Okay, what are the 4 handcuffs we have? 4 things we are tied up with. Mamta Mataji.
Kam, Krodh, Moh.
That is 6. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Yes, we are tied up with Kama, Krodha, Moha. That also. Jyoti Mataji.
Janma, Mrityu, Jara,
Very
Vyadhi.
good. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, right? So we are tied up with Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. We are tied up with the 3 modes of material nature. We are also tied up with the senses. We are tied up with desires, karma. We are tied up with Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. We are also tied up with Adhyatmika, Adibhavdika, Adidevik, Kleshas. Does anyone know what are these 3? These are 3 miseries in our life.
Yes, Mataji.
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 I'll take waste 1 second. Jyoti Mataji, yeah.
Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika.
Yeah. What is it? Adhyatmika.
Adhyatmika is miseries lead by us, Mataji.
That means our
Adi
body.
Daivi,
Yeah,
yes, body and all. Adi Daivika is miseries affected by demigods.
demigods.
Adi,
And Adibhavdi.
Adi Bhautika is nature.
No. The nature and demigods is almost same. Adibhavdik is by other living entities. Like for example, Adibhavdik Klesha is like any animals or mosquitoes, any other living entities like a dacoit or somebody, a thief, somebody trying to hurt you. So that is Adibhavdik. Atmic means from their body and mind, and Adidevik is means demigods or natural calamities or nature can like drought and we say tsunamis and all that, earthquakes, all that. So all these miseries are also affecting us. Avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharatha avyakta nidhani eva tatraka paridevana. All created beings are unmanifest in the beginning, manifest in the interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? He's like, why? We have learned that dehinosmini yada dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tada dehandara prapti dhirastatra namuknidi. So it's dehandara prapti happening, right? So why are you lamenting? So main focus of Krishna is to cheer up Arjuna so that he is ready to fight. So 2 classes of philosophers are there. One believe in the existence of soul, the other does not believe in the existence of the soul. So there is no cause for lamentation in either case. Because if you believe in the soul, you know, right, there is transmigration. If you doesn't believe in the soul, you don't know, you are unaware of it. So you think the body ends means everything ends. No, Prabhupada was abroad and was speaking to a professor. And Prabhupada asked, what will happen after death? So they told everything is over. That's called Shunyavadi. So Prabhupada's Pradamantra is Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadari. So he went against them. They are Shunyavadis. They think after the world ends or after death, everything is zero, big zero. That's what Shunyavadi says. So Prabhupada's like, then why are you struggling so much in this life? You struggle so much, you make so much money, everything, all that. And after life, after death, everything is gone. That's zero. So then why are, imagine 5 babies born in the same hospital, the same time, almost same time. They have different karmas, right? One will be very rich, one will be very poor, one will be born blind, one might have some cancer, some might have, one baby might die immediately, or all this is because of different types of karma. Why is a baby born blind already? Did that baby just immediately born and it's blind or have some defects? So that means karma from previous life, right? So who was so I think we spoke that. Who was Dhritarashtra in previous life? Why was he born blind and why he has to see 100 sons dying in front of him? Jyoti Mataji.
Mataji, he was a hunter and he pricked all baby bird eyes, Mataji, 100 birds.
Yes.
So they became blind.
Yeah, and why? That means, was he the previous life hunter, or which life he was hunter?
Hundreds of years back, Mataji, hundreds of births,
100,
and
50,
more than hundreds.
50 birth. But why it took 50 births for him to become Dhritarashtra, you know? Prithvi Mataji.
Mataji, to accumulate the punya to get that many children, he had to go through 50 lives, Mataji.
So Dhritarashtra, 50 life back, he was a hunter, and as Mataji said, he killed the 100 eggs of a bird. And then pricked it, and then it died. So the mother bird and father bird witnessed that 100 children dying in front of him. And then that karma, definitely, when you take a soul, that soul will take your life in next. That's what mamsa means. That's why we don't encourage meat eating, in the sense the daya or the mercy component will go. Mamsa means what? You kill me, I kill you this life, you kill me in the next life. That's what mamsa means. So it's all karma coming back. Somebody gets killed by someone. Definitely, we would have killed someone else in our previous life. So it is said that Dhritarashtra, 50 years back, 50 not years, Janmas back, he was a hunter. And that was one of the reasons. And also, as Mother said, it is also said the eyes were pricked and he was born blind. But he had to suffer that karma of seeing 100 children dying in front of him. And to have one son, you should have particular karma, punya karma accumulated to have son. So he took 50 janmas to accumulate the punya for having 100 sons. It's not easy. And then after 50 janma, that means karma will come back as a boomerang. Next chapter, third chapter, is about karma yoga. We'll see how powerful karma is, that anywhere you hide, every action has equal and opposite reaction. Yeah. You leave a small calf in a goshala with thousands of cows. The baby calf will go and search for its mother only, go near its mother only. How is it possible? No? So similarly, the karma will come and search for you. Like, so that's very karma is very, very powerful. So here it's also said the law of conservation of energy. What is that law, and how is it applicable in form of a soul, in the case of a soul? This is pure physics. Law of conservation of energy. What is it? Yeah, Prithvi Mataji. And how do you apply it?
Mataji, soul cannot be created nor destroyed.
Yeah. The second part, Siddharth Prabhu. What is the second part? Cannot be created, neither destroyed, but
it will always only conserved.
Yeah, transferred. The energy cannot be created or destroyed, can be transferred from one form to another. The same concept is used here. The soul cannot be created nor destroyed. It can be only transferred from one body to another. On the transmigration happens, right? So we don't have any right to do that. It's all karmana deva netrana. Krishna decides based on our karma and what thoughts we have at the end of life. So based on that, we get different types of body. Also says karanam guna sangha asyada. The mode with which we associate, we get that particular type of body. So to chant Hare Krishna is very, very pious, on the sense we should have done some Ajnana Sukridis to chant Hare Krishna. And somebody chanting Hare Krishna will definitely don't go below human form. Human form is guaranteed. Shuchinam Srimadam Dehi. Yes, Siddharth Prabhu?
You said just one verse. Karmana deva. What can
Netrena. Karmana deva netrena means deva netrena. Netrena means vision. So karmana, the akarma is under the vision of Krishna, and this is deva netrena. So based on our karma, deva, Krishna decides. He sees and decides what body we get next. And the material nature gives it, but it looks like the material nature is giving. No, Krishna sanctions it, right? He decides the soul has to go to which body or which mother, which father, everything. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice on how we look. We don't have a choice on where we are born, how we are born, and nothing, because it's all based on our karma. Okay, so verse 2.30 says, Dehi nityam avadyo ayam dehi sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natam shochitam arhasi. So the soul who dwells in the body can never be slain, therefore there is no need of lamentation. So that's what he's concluding. Sarva dharmam abhichavikshya navikampitum arhasi dharmyadi yuddha shreyo anyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Considering your specific duty as a kshatriya, you should know there is no better engagement for you than fighting on the religious principles. And so there is no need of hesitation. So again and again, Krishna is telling Arjuna, please fight, fight, fight. As a kshatriya, he's a kshatriya, right? Who's a kshatriya? What's the word meaning of kshatriya? Kshatriya.
Chatat trayate iti kshatriyah.
Yeah,
Who,
that means?
that means who is able to save us from the wounds.
Yes. So
Is
somebody who protects us. Yes. So that's a kshatriya. And what is, okay, you can have raised hands. What is your view on sacrificing animals? It's not done now, nowadays, but before, you can have raised hands. Who knows about that animal sacrifice? So animal sacrifice was done before, but in Kali Yuga now it's not allowed. You can raise your hands, digital hand. Yeah, Prithvi Mataji.
Mataji, in previous times they used to sacrifice animals so that they get human life, Mataji. After the sacrifice, the animal you get. But now no one is eligible to give that kind of thing. That's why it's not recommended these days.
Okay, Raghunath Prabhu, you want to answer?
Same reply, Mataji.
Okay, so when we sacrifice that particular animal, the soul of that animal gets human form. But how is it possible, Pooja Mataji? How is it done actually? Is that possible just like that?
By the mantras and
Mantras.
With the mantras,
Yes.
yes, mantras. In the
So
Brahman,
for
when
the
it is given as a
mantras.
ahuti, yeah, yeah.
So they test the power of that mantra. But nowadays, why Pushti Mataji, nowadays in Kali Yuga, it's not done? There are two reasons. One, yeah.
Because the disciple succession is not there, and the gurus, they are not that knowledgeable, and all the knowledge is lost.
Yes. So the mantra is not so powerful, or in a sense, there is nobody who can, a pure Brahmana, who can chant that particular mantra, which can convert or which can give that soul of the animal a chance to become human next. Okay, Siddharth Prabhu, any other points?
No, these 2 points only. Like Brahmana, the mantras is not powerful, and there is no such Brahmana available now.
Yeah. So to test a mantra also they used to do it. And yes, because that soul and sacrifice is done to Mother Kali before, right? So it was allowed at that time. But now, as Prabhu and Mataji said, yes, that's the reason. And that animal, so that's also a positive thing. The animal which you have been sacrificed will get a human form, in the sense it can cross over all those karma and get a human form. So it's actually beneficial in that way. But now it's not allowed. So the Varnashram Dharma is also followed here. As a Kshatriya, he is coming under the Kshatriya Varna, Arjuna. So Arjuna has to fight. So Prabhupada says in the purport, both way Arjuna has to fight. Both way you have to fight. Krishna is trying to put Arjuna in a dilemma, saying that this way or that way, you must have to fight. If you think you are not in the bodily concept of life, then it's my order, you must fight. But if you think you are in the bodily concept of life, then you are a Kshatriya, you must fight. Both ways you have to fight. This is Krishna's conclusion. So Krishna says, Mam anusmere yuddhaja. Think of me and fight. In the sense, think of Krishna and do the duty. So there is no, as you all discussed last week, because it's different from terrorism. Terrorism is for sense gratification, for selfish reasons, and there is karma binding. But here, there is no karma binding here. So Krishna defeats Arjuna's argument of sinful reactions. Swadharam apavatam. Swargadhara. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unserved, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planet. So, for Kshatriyas who are defeating in the battle, who are fighting in the battle, actually, it says they go to heavenly planets. That's why people get confused. Arjuna went to heavenly planet. No, why should Arjuna go to heavenly planets? Heavenly planets, if you go, Shine Punya Martelogam Vishanti. Once your Punya is over, you have to come back. It's like a visa. It's a visiting visa. You just go and the visa expires, you have to come back, right? But Arjuna is eternal associate of the Lord. So definitely he went back to the spiritual world with him. Atachetvam imam dharmyam sangramam nakarishyasi tada swadharmaki vitim cha hitva papam avapshasi. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, and then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. So you should perform your religious duty. That's what he says. Arjuna was a famous fighter. Then he attained fame by fighting many great demigods, including Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva gave Arjuna something, no? What was it? Because he defeated
Pashupatastra.
Pashupatastra. So that was given to, by Lord Shiva to Arjuna. Okay. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sin for neglecting your duty. So Arjuna had a doubt, no, whether it's sin to kill my teacher Dronacharya or Bhishmacharya. But now Krishna says, if you don't fight, that's a sin, because you're neglecting your duty as a Kshatriya. So if you don't fight, it's a sin. If he abandoned the battle, not only would he neglect his specific duty as a Kshatriya, but he would lose all his fame and good name, thus prepare his royal road to hell. In other words, he will go to hell not by fighting, but by withdrawing from the battle. So he says that you go to hell not by fighting, but by withdrawing from the battle. Akirtim chapi bhutani kata ishyanti te avyayam sambhavitasya chakirtir maranat atirichyate. People will always speak of infamy, and for a respectful person, dishonor is worse than death. This is the final judgment of the Lord. The Lord says that dishonor is worse than death. So as a Kshatriya, you should fight. People will always speak of infamy, and for a respectful person, dishonor is worse than death. What could be more painful for you? Because Arjuna is running away. What will happen? Others who follow Arjuna also will run away. Yadi yadacharidi sreshtan tat evedarojana sayat pramanam kuride lokas tat anavartade. Whatever great soul does, the common people follow. So if Arjuna run away from the battlefield, whoever has come to support Arjuna, they are also going to run away. So Krishna is like, don't set a wrong example. Hatova prapshasi swargam jitva va mokshase mahim tasmat uddishta kaundeya yuddhaya krita nishyaha. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield, or and it's in heavenly plans, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. So this heavenly planets is not especially for Arjuna. This is for generally the Kshatriyas, whoever is killed in the battlefield, they go to heavenly planets. Okay. So in both the way he has to fight. See, and this answer clears which of the 5 questions of Arjuna. Arjuna had 5 reasons not to fight, right? This which part of Arjuna's Raghunath Prabhu?
Arjuna's indecision, Mataji.
Huh?
Arjuna's indecision whether to fight or not.
Not indecision, no.
No enjoyment, Mataji.
Enjoyment, yes. So he says that there is no, Arjuna said no, there is no enjoyment, right? No enjoyment. So Krishna is like, there is enjoyment. See, either if you're killed in the battlefield, you'll go to heavenly planets. You can drink Somarasa, dance with the Apsaras, so you will be enjoying them. But if you conquer and you enjoy the earthly kingdom, you become the king here. Still you can enjoy. So this is enjoyment. So he says the 2 things Arjuna can have. Either he dies in the battlefield, go to heavenly planets, right? And he can enjoy there. Heavenly planets also they enjoy. Actually, there's more enjoyment in heavenly planets. And or if he, so that is if he die. If he win, he'll become the Yudhishthira Maharaj become the king, and he can also, as the brother of the king, he'll enjoy the kingdom. So both the way there is enjoyment. So Arjuna is saying no enjoyment, but Krishna says both the way there is enjoyment. So Krishna defeats Arjuna's argument of enjoyment. Arjuna said, no, Krishna, how can I enjoy? I cannot enjoy. But Krishna is like, both the ways you can enjoy. Either you win the battle, you become the king. You can enjoy being the king. Or second, you lose the battle, you go to heavenly planets, still there is enjoyment. So you don't worry about that part of enjoyment. So son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. So both the way. So Krishna is defeating one by one all the arguments of Arjuna. Sugadukke samakritva labha ujaya jayo. Nado yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapshusi. Do fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat. And by so doing, you shall never incur sin. So he's like, there's no, you should not think about loss or gain or happiness or distress or anything. Just do your karma. Ma phale shukatashana. Krishna says, I give you the fruits of the results. So Krishna will give so he just have to do his duty, right? So there is no consideration of happiness or distress point, the loss or win, profit or loss, victory or defeat in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That everything should be performed for the sake of Krishna is transcendental consciousness. So there is no reaction to material activities. He who acts for his own sense gratification, either in goodness or in passion, is subject to the reaction, good or bad. But he who have completely surrendered himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged to anyone, nor is a debtor to anyone, as in the ordinary course of activities. So somebody who is completely surrendered to Krishna, like watering the root of the tree. You water the root of the tree, you don't have to water the fruits, leaves, and twigs separately. So similarly, somebody worshipping Krishna don't have to worry about the demigods. So this is what the sloka from Bhagavatam says. Devarshi bhutaptanam pidrinam na kingaro nayam ridija rajan sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukuntam pariruttivatam. So anybody who has completely surrendered to Krishna, Mukunda, giving up all other duties, is no longer a debtor. He's not obliged to anyone, not the demigods, nor the sages, not the people in general, not kingsmen, no humanity, nor forefathers, it is said. Because watering the root of the tree, or is there any other analogy? One more analogy, remember? One is watering the root of the trees. Then, Puja Mataji, putting the food. Yeah, putting the food to the stomach, right? So if you give food to the stomach, what happens? The whole body gets nourished. So once what happened? There was a strike going on between the different parts of the body. So the hands were saying, "Arey, what is the stomach doing?" I go to the kitchen with my leg. The leg was saying, I walk. The hands were saying, I cook. And I take the food towards the mouth. And the mouth was saying, I chew it. So much of work going on. And I chew it. And what is the stomach doing? Nothing. Just sitting there and enjoying the food. We are putting it into the stomach and the stomach is enjoying. So let's go for a strike. Tomorrow, say we are not working. So we'll go for a strike and punish the stomach. So because no food will go to the stomach and the stomach will starve. So they all planned. So the starving started, the fasting started, and all were in the strike. The stomach was not having food. So slowly what happened? The hands and legs and mouth started drying and become weak and weak and weak. And these people, again, what happened? We're striking, we thought to punish the stomach and we are suffering. Then we understood stomach is also doing the greatest work of digestion and everything. And it's the main thing. So only when you put food to the stomach is the nutrients going everywhere and the energy going everywhere and every part of the body is getting nourished. So that means it's the center. Similarly, if you water the root of the tree, the whole tree gets nourished. एषते अभिहिता साख्ये बुद्धिर्योगत्व इमं शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्था कर्मबन्धं प्रहस्यति. Okay, so thus I have described this knowledge to you through analytic studies, Sankhya. I have explained in terms of working without fruitive results, Buddhi Yoga. Acting in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. So we'll see this in detail in the 3rd chapter. More about Karma Yoga. So the description in the Vedas indicate that the Lord glanced over Prakriti or material nature and impregnated it with atomic individual souls. So who knows the analogy of scorpions and rice? Please raise your digital hand. Scorpions. See, these analogies can come as your Bhakti Shastri question. Okay, all the analogies should be. Does anyone know? Scorpions and rice. Okay, so you see rice, no, if it is kept for a long time. Yes, Puja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Sadhu Pranam. So eggs are seen in the rice and they are laid by, but it's been said that they are coming from the rice itself. But that is not the thing, and they are laid by scorpions. So the Prakriti as it is similarly the beach is given by the Lord himself and Prakriti is the Mata. So
yes. So yeah, so somebody who keeps the rice for a long time, we see some small black bugs coming out of it, or like a scorpion. So does the bugs come from the rice? No, the mother scorpion had gone and laid the eggs, and because of that, moisture, it lays eggs and then it hatches and comes out. So similarly, Prakriti looks like she's giving the body to everyone, but then she's impregnated by the Lord, or the Lord plants it and the creation happens. Or Aham Bija Pradapita, Krishna says he's the seed giving father. So actually it's the Lord. So there's another analogy of nipples of the goat's head. You've seen nipples on the goat's head. It looks like nipple, but it doesn't give us milk. So similarly, material nature looks independent, but she's always dependent on Krishna. So this is what as Prabhu asked this sloka. This is from Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 31, verse 1. Karmana Devanetrena. I've just taken the first line. That means Karmana Devanetra means under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, and according to the results of our work, the karma, the living entity, the soul, is made to enter the womb of a mother through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body. So this is because the Lord sanctioning, we get a particular type of body. And when we go against it, like a suicide or something, when we go against the law, then what happens? We are punished, in the sense we don't get the human form immediately, because the human form is the highest form of life, because it's only in that we can attempt for liberation, or that's the highest form of life, to go back to Godhead and no more coming of birth, death, old age, disease cycle. Right? But animals, there is no karma binding for an animal, but there's still the sin which we have incurred. So one soul have done so much sin, and if you do so much sin, you go to hellish planets and you start suffering there. Okay, but still, so suffering is over. Why still again they are taking rebirth? The sin is over, right? But again, why they are taking rebirth?
Krishna Mataji, because of punya, probably.
Yeah, to enjoy that punya, they have to come to this material world to enjoy that. Good. So not only papa will make you take a rebirth, even punya will take us to take a rebirth. Okay, so just imagine I have done 90% sin and 10% punya. So I go to hellish planet and suffer that 90% sin, but the 10% punya is there in me. So that soul is again put into human form. And what is the proof I've done some punya? How do you know that, okay, that particular soul have done some punya? What are the benefits?
He's born in certain family.
Born in a rich family.
Rich family.
In
a pious family.
Traditional family or sage family.
Then what else?
Beauty,
good. Then so somebody is very beautiful or handsome, definitely they have done some punya in previous life. It's opposite of it. Ugliness is because of papa. Okay, or in a poor family is again papa. What else?
Maybe all the 6 opulences. But in small,
the 6 we won't have, but a little bit knowledge. Yeah, knowledge, fame, power, all that will come, except renunciation might be like, so somebody who's educated, nicely educated, definitely it's because of his punya. And the same family might be somebody who's illiterate or not much educated, because of his papa karma. Okay, then knowing about Krishna, very good. That's what Prabhupada says. The best proof that we have done punya is because you are in Krishna consciousness, because you are able to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because you have got association of devotees, because you have come under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, or you got a guru, or because you have the scriptures. All this proves it's not easy. It is, what is it? Purva Janma Punyam. Tada Srimad Bhagavate Lapa. Kodi Janma Sugridana Lapiti. It's not easy to get Srimad Bhagavatam, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, or study scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, unless you have accumulated so much of punya in previous life. That's the real punya. Not like somebody who's a materialistic person, very successful in business, very rich, and what he has Benz and Audi and living in a bungalow. Okay, that's punya. You have done that punya of material life, but that's not the real goal of life, right? The real goal is to become a devotee of the Lord. That is the real punya or jnana sukriti. And papa, even the legal cases, the court cases, or having some serious disease like cancer, definitely. Garuda Puran says, Purva Janma Kritam Papam Vyadhi Rupena Jayate. Purva Janma Kritam Papam. If you have done papa in Purva Janma, it comes as Vyadhi. Vyadhi means disease. So any diseases coming to us, definitely it's our karma. Prarabdha karma, it's matured karma coming back. Karma can be in different forms. We'll see it in the chapter 5, that it can be the bija seed form. It can be little matured, fully matured. So based on that, we suffer. So it's all because of our papa. So karmana devanitra means the karma, good or bad, it's all under the supervision of the Lord. Devanetrina. He decides, right, who has to enter into which form. That's why many of the IVF treatment fails. Like IVF, you take the ovum outside the female and take the sperm outside the male, and you do artificial fertilization in the lab, and then that's test tube baby, whatever it's so called, and again impregnate the womb of the mother with the embryo. How many of it fails? So many fails, so costly, and it fails. Why? There is no soul in it. Unless the Lord deposits the soul, like the story of Chitraketu Maharaj, who had many queens but never had a son, because it was not in his punya to get a son, to have children. There's a lot of punya, and it is not allowed. So Prabhupada says, if a couple doesn't have children, then they should take it as a blessing of the Lord in order to dedicate their life in Krishna consciousness, because they can give more time than grihasthas having children, right? So they should become full-time devotees actually for the temple and do service, because Krishna consciousness is the best humanitarian service you can ever do, because you're not saving the body, you're saving the soul, which is very important. So Krishna decides which soul has to go to which semen of the father, and how and which mother it's going to enter. And so this is very important to know, that is under the supervision of the Lord. And so this is a very important sloka for a devotee, saying that Neha Vikramana Sosti Pratyavayana Vidyave Swalpam Apyasya Dharmasya Trayve Mahadopaya. So in this endeavor, that is of devotional service, there is no loss or diminution. And a little advancement of the path can protect you from most dangerous type of fear. So you know the Gajendra, even though being an animal, was caught by a crocodile for 1,000 years. He was fighting. Finally, he could offer a flower to Krishna, and then Krishna protected him. He was Indradimna Maharaj in his previous life and was cursed to become an elephant. Okay, and whatever devotional service he has done as Indradimna Maharaj, he could remember when he became an animal because of that curse, and still he went back to God. He got moksha, Gajendra Stuti, he sang. Well, how can an animal sing that Stuti? It's because he remembered his previous life. So bhakti is not a loss. Don't think that, oh, I'm wasting every moment, in the sense every Saturday, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, it's wasted. No, it's not wasted. When you stop at 20% in this life, 21% you can start in next life. It's not a loss, right? So there was a small rat who actually went to a temple thinking that the diya, the lamp, the ghee lamp, was some fruit to eat, and then went and took the whisk to the mouth, and because it was burning, and it was in a temple, and did arti like this unknowingly to the Lord, and died in the temple. So got liberated because of that. So any small advancement in the path will help us from most dangerous type of fear. What is the most dangerous type of fear we can ever have?
Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi.
To slide back
fear,
into
but it's not most dangerous.
Death, mother.
Yeah, most dangerous is a cycle of birth and death.
Cycle of birth and death is dangerous, but not most dangerous, Prabhu. What else?
Slide back to a lower species of animal, Mataji.
Yeah, animal form of life is the that's why I told, no, when in the case of suicide also, they go birth, death, old age diseases, they always, that's a fear for everyone. It's all there, even up to Abrahma, Bhuvanar, Loka, Punaravartin, even to Brahma's world. Brahma also have this fear. But to go into an animal form of life, that is the most dangerous type of fear. Why? Because animals have low consciousness. They cannot, unless they have done some devotional service in previous life, animals form is very less. And again, you might have to go to different 84 lakh species of life to come back to a human form. So most dangerous type of fear is to slide into an animal form of life or in a hellish condition of life. So any small service done is valuable, as we know the story of a squirrel who actually took small pebbles and helped Lord Ram to build the bridge. And Hanuman and the other monkeys were so irritated. They were carrying big rocks, but then Lord Ram is like, he is doing according to his capacity. The squirrel is able to do that much, let him do that much. So never compare your devotional life with others. They might have done, somebody younger to you, they might have done devotional service so much in previous life. They just had to get a brush up done. They might have come to Krishna consciousness in this life later than you, but they would advance better than you because they have already done in previous life. So might be some kids chant shlokas so well. It's not just their memory, because they are done in previous life. If they are Vaikuntha children, it's not easy to come to Krishna consciousness at that age. So we should understand it's always better than never late. It's better to come to Krishna consciousness at any age. That's not a problem because the soul doesn't have an age. And we can continue from where we stopped in this life, right? We can continue. It's never a loss. Okay, so Hanuman burning Lanka with his tail, he used everything in Krishna's service. Lord steps. So we'll have a quick breakout room. After that, Nandita Mataji can post the attendance link. Discuss the relevance of the term Pratyavayuna Vidyati from 2.40 sloka for your personal practice of Krishna consciousness. So all of you should share your personal practice, okay? Not preaching. You can discuss your own experience of Pratyavayuna Vidyate. Like, what is the, just see what is the word meaning of Pratyavayuna Vidyate. And then how do you apply it in your prayer? So copy this question, which I put in the chat, and then you can go to the breakout room and post it in that chat there, okay? Because last time somebody missed the question. So how do you think the Pratyavayana Vidyate will help you, or what is the relevance in your personal practice of Krishna consciousness? So we'll quickly go to a breakout room, 10 minutes. We'll come back. 4 rooms. Hare Krishna. And Nandita Mataji, can you post the attendance link?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So everybody start filling the attendance link. So I'll take from room number. See. Yeah, from room number 1, who's representing? Pooja Mataji, Prithvi Mataji, Raghunath Prabhu, Shweta Mataji, Tapas Prabhu.
I will, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, Prithvi Mataji.
Mataji. Mataji,
Ah.
we trust the process, and this process is to attain the Supreme Lord. But what we discussed practically is, even though if this process takes a long way to go, we have experienced changes, Mataji, by doing the process. So it's not a waste, like being empathetic, kind, or the way we think, or the way we respect, the number of times we get angry with each other. It has reduced drastically, so it's not a waste of time, is what we discussed, Mataji. There is no loss in practice.
Okay, so
Mataji, yes, Mataji. There are a lot of material changes we all experienced in this process.
Yes, Mataji. Okay. So room number 2, Aditi Madan, Neeta Mother, Siddharth Prabhu stay. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So we have discussed that Pratyabhaya no Vidyate, a small endeavor in this will always be there for eternity. It will never destroyed. So what has happened in our continuous association, devotee association, continuously in the class, our 16 round chanting, and all the processes that we have gone through, many things have happened as we discussed in our team. Number one, what we felt was that our judging people, judging others, we're not becoming judgmental, because now the thought is coming that whoever is behaving whatever way is because he's driven or she is driven by the 3 gunas. So our response also is becoming calmer. So that is one thing which has happened because of this. Second is also easy to forgive people. Third is any death in the family of dear and near ones, which we have experienced recently. In fact, in our team, myself, my father, in fact, Neeta Mataji's father and mother, that 2 things have happened. One is that during the Kriya and all that, during the 14 days time, all these verses were coming as a reminder, like Devnasmin Jathade. So it's a very, very vivid experience which was happening. And second is also to come back to normal life. It took perhaps little less time, which otherwise would have taken more time. So I think it is also proving, it is also a testimonial to the verse of Pratyabhaya no Vidyate. So because a small thing we have done, but then it is enhancing at all walks of life. Then fourth point was that our priorities have also changed, not by compulsion, but by a smooth and seamless transition. So not watching TV and doing something, so or going through scriptures, now it is not becoming a task, it is a pleasure sort of thing. So those are happening. So I think this is all we have discussed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, that is a practical part where actually when somebody passes away or no more in our family and all these verses, yes. So slowly, it gives us that strength. And yes, it's not a loss, whatever we have done. So it's definitely going to protect, save us. Room number 3, Snigdha Mataji, Radha Sarojini Mataji, Vijay Prabhu. Who's going to say?
Can I, Mataji?
Nandita Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. We had like 2 of them were in the meeting, so they couldn't speak. The
okay.
other 2 people were thinking about, we all had different experiences, so we didn't really speak much. But can I tell you about mine very quickly?
Yes.
I like you. I mean, whatever you spoke in the class today was so relevant to what it was said here, where it said there is no loss or diminution in Krishna consciousness, and there is some past punya karma that has got me here into Krishna consciousness now after this many years, and that too in an online way. I am able to associate with people, have access to great teachers, have the opportunity to do a lot of service, a little bit of service online. I never thought it could happen that way. And what you kept trying to tell me, I mean, from our association when it all started, is that I never saw the hand of Krishna in everything, but now I'm able to. Everything, good or bad. He is, it is, he, if it is bad, he explains it later why it is bad and why it was good actually that it was bad at that time. So, and I am able to give up things. I am, I don't have pride and ego now, very little of it, because every time even the bubble comes into my mind, it's burst by Krishna immediately by making me fall flat on my face. And he has already made me educated, be born in a good family, have great association, do a little service, and be able to give up things, have a sense of detachment. And very importantly, I never ever had that much gratitude that I have now after coming into Krishna consciousness. So, and all this online, it's a miracle. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hi, Krishna. Nicely said. Yeah. So this is personal application, right? How personally for everyone. Yes, room number 4, Jyoti Mataji, Pushti Mataji, Sakeli Mataji, Shreyas, who's speaking.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, we were talking about like how we came to Krishna conscious, especially me, that I came very late in Krishna conscious, but then I was surrounded by devotees and doing a 16 rounds. And I remember one day my Guru Maharaj, when I saw him, he asked me, can I help you? And then I was very new to Krishna conscious and I didn't know what to do. I didn't say anything to him. But then after 3 years later, and then you say, now can I help you? Yeah. So that, that's all mercy. And, around me, I see so many little young children, and then like you said, Mataji, in your lecture today, like, they are very exalted personality. And they say Gita shloka and they do services with so bhav. You think like, yeah, you've been there before and now you just here, and when you're reading the nectar of devotions, and then you reading and you thinking about it, yeah, what Prabhupada say, it makes sense. Because growing up in my back home, we have a Pushti Marg, so Bal Gopal service. So, helping my grandmother doing all this, and then got married, went abroad. So then it's like lost everything, all the touch and everything. And now later in life, coming back to Krishna conscious, and you feel like, yeah, made like a round circle, and you feel very fulfilling. And I see my children not in a Krishna conscious, but then they come and do something for Krishna or go and buy flowers for Krishna and think, Laya, Krishna is his ways, bringing people together to Krishna conscious. And, the more I read, the more I listen to lectures. And it's like, yeah, that happened in my life. At that time, I was lamenting and I was crying, and now, yep, Krishna has a plan for me. Yeah, and I mean, that's also, everybody, share their own little experience about this. And one Mataji, how she had a lot of choice, choosing a guru and a Krishna made all this possible for Mataji. Yeah, yeah, I think I'm in the right place, right time. Krishna made it possible. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes. Okay. Okay, anybody likes to add anything or any other questions, anything to add? Yes, Jyoti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, my parents are demigod worshippers, but somehow I got attracted to Krishna. That means I had some previous Janma relation with Krishna. So I'm able to find spiritual Guru come under the Guru Srila Prabhupada. So I feel so fortunate. So I'm still learning, Mataji.
Yes. That's nice.
Hare Krishna.
So yeah, we should realize that how fortunate we are to come to Krishna consciousness. So definitely, it's previous janmas punya, and also to come under shelter of Srila Prabhupada. It's not easy. So we're so fortunate. And today is Narottam Das Thakur appearance day, who's again Champak Manchari in Krishna Leela, who was also an Acharya in our Sampradaya, next to Jiva Goswami. So they are the ones who actually gave us these books of Goswamis. And so when we know about our parampara, we should know the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya is so fortunate that we have gone through so many ups and downs in life, all of us based on our karma and everything. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, it's a great relief for everyone. Yes, Krishna keeps testing, in the sense the tests keep coming. Even though they will become devotees of Krishna, there will be suffering still. But that should be taken as special mercy of Krishna, because Krishna is speeding up your process for liberation. And he is always good for everyone. Whatever Krishna does, it looks like externally suffering, but still it is Krishna's mercy. We are supposed to suffer so much. Krishna made it very less. So if we have that gratitude, then definitely life is going to be nice. And especially after coming to Krishna consciousness, anything we understand, right? Anything that is done, it's not lost. But in material life, whatever we do, we have to leave everything and go. Our profession, our family, our wealth, and everything. So, but then, and then again, we have to start from LKG next life. But in spiritual life, whatever we did, Krishna keeps an account, and then everything we are rewarded accordingly, right? Next life. So it's never a loss. Okay. And so many examples in the Shastra itself, we know how in the previous life they are devotees, like Bharat Maharaj became Jada Bharat, and Ridhimna Maharaj became Gajendra. So it all proves that definitely devotees have a great path forward. Okay. Hi, Krishna, everyone. I think we can end here. We'll take one more session and we finish chapter 2. It took a long time. And after that, I'll give you the first open book question. Okay, next week might be. And then just remind me, because I have multiple batches going, so I don't know which sloka where, which chapter I'm in, which batch. So sorry for that, but I need to keep an account. But then next Saturday, yeah, I'll be done with chapter 2, and then immediately I'll post the open book question, which is like you can refer the Bhagavad Gita slokas and write an essay. Okay, the essay should have a nice format. It should have an introduction, and you write it as a one paragraph, then the body, then a conclusion. So you can take references from Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can refer and write, but don't copy it as it is, understand, and then write the essay. So it's going to be an essay question out of 60. That means out of 100, your majority marks for your Bhakti Shastri passing criteria is open book. So take it seriously. And I'll be giving a Google link, a Google form where you can upload your answer sheet, either in it has to be handwritten, not typed, because copy pasting happens from database. You don't want that. So take a photo, upload it in a Word or PDF document. You can take help from somebody. Okay, so in a 1 week time. So I'll give you 1 week time from next week. I'll select the question. You don't have to answer. It will be from the question bank of the handbook. So I'll be giving one essay question from chapter 2, which you have to write and submit before 1 week, in 1 week time. Yes, Nandita Mataji, what is it?
You posed a question last week to us about the earthworm.
Yeah. Anybody got the answer? I think
from Google we got Mataji, but not script. At least I didn't get from scriptures.
What does it say in Google?
Mataji, there are people who raised their hands. Let's give them a chance first.
Yeah. Jyoti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. As a science background student, I have little knowledge of earthworm, Mataji. If earthworm cut into 2 pieces, the head part will be sustained, Mataji, and tail part will die, Mataji.
No, but if you cut into 2 or 3 pieces, each piece will start moving, no? It won't die, right?
Start moving, Mataji, but wherever the head position is there, that part will sustain, Mataji. That part will live, and the tail part will die, Mataji. It will not sustain longer period.
No, it won't. Even if it dies, it will live, no, for some time at least. So there has to be a soul in it. Even though it cannot live for a long time, as you said, but at least it doesn't die immediately, right? Because we practically see when we cut the earthworm, both the parts will be moving. So as you said, okay, the head part might be it will stay for long and the tail will, but tail won't die like a lizard. In a lizard, the lizard cuts the tail and the tail immediately dies off, no? Especially when the tail cannot act as an individual living entity. But then it happens for a
The 5 types of air will be rotating, Namataji. Maybe some part of the air still there in the tail. That's why the tail is sustaining for some time.
That is one reason, one way of answering it, but it's not exactly the thing. Prithvi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this was taken from Kora where devotees answered Mataji. They said that each part will have new soul entering into it immediately after it's being cut.
Each soul will, each part will have a soul.
Each part will have a soul entering immediately after it's being cut, Mataji.
It doesn't enter immediately. It's already there actually. Yeah, Nandita Mataji, what is it?
I mean, this is just reading from Google, Mataji. I don't know how far it's correct, but it has a blood circulatory system that has something like a part of the aorta that flows through it. And I mean, it was very scientifically explained. And what happens is it's like it has more than one heart. So when you, I mean, when it is cut somewhere, there is a part of the heart in it. And there is a soul in that, and that's how it regenerates itself. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so it is said that there are millions of souls in one particular body. It's not just one soul. The one soul is conscious. Every atom is living, right, in our body. How is it possible? Unless there is a soul in that atom, it doesn't grow or doesn't live. So every atom, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayandarastam, Krishna is a super soul in every atom. That means wherever there is a Paramatma, there is definitely the soul. So there are millions of souls. Each of our body is like a universe of souls, so many. But there's only one soul who's dominant and conscious of that particular body. So in an earthworm, what happens is that particular, when part is cut, that another particular soul become dominant. But in our case, it's not like that. We have only, because our consciousness is elevated, we have only one soul which is conscious of this particular body. But every atom of our body has actually souls, it is said. So there's millions, like a bag of mustard, mustard in a bag of mustard. But then one mustard can dominate, in the sense we take it out, in the sense it's conscious of that particular body. But when transmigration happens, it's that soul who's conscious will actually go to the next body. Okay, the other parts just leave. So also, as you said, the different types of air, the 5 types of air also rotating. So, okay. But the heart part, earthworm doesn't actually have a heart, does it? Does it have a heart? Because in human, okay, you understand there's one soul who's dominating, but the other living entities actually, the soul will become dominant. Yeah. It's not heart.
Mataji,
So,
actually, in scientifically, it is the reproduction. It is known as asexual reproduction. If you cut the body part into parts, then each part will regenerate, and we can say budding.
Yes. So yes, each part will be
in case of earthworm, because they are non-coded.
Okay, but
Yes,
actually
yes,
for that to happen, the soul should be there, no? Unless there is a soul, you cannot, there is no growth or there is no movement. The earthworm is able to move still. Okay, so that's because of the soul which is dominant in that part, it becomes dominant, that particular soul. So there are actually, every atom has a soul and every atom grows, right? So when the 5 types of air moves out of the body, that is after death, the soul, the dominant soul actually goes to the next body. Transmigration happens, the conscious soul. Okay, that's what the explanation given. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. We can add more to it. Okay, maybe next class. Okay, can we end here then? So tomorrow you can all join 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. There is a special class by Atul Krishna Prabhu, who's the Ministry of Mayapur Institute of Higher Education. So he is a Ministry of Mayapur Institute and he has come and taken teachers training course for all of us. So he is a very great devotee, senior Vaishnava. So you can all come at 8 o'clock in temple link. Mataji can post the link and you can attend his class. It's on Chaitanya Bhagavat about Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Meeting with other Pandit. So, yes, Jyoti Mataji.
Mataji, may I ask one question, Mataji? Please forgive me for my ignorance to put this question. Mataji, Krishna chooses the body for the soul to enter with which father or mother.
Yes.
But the kids will get some of the features from the forefathers or somebody. And how is it possible, Mataji?
Yeah, definitely, because the forefathers, whoever passed away, would be thinking about this particular family and time. At the time of death, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatande kalaveram. Whatever antakalesh mame was smaran muktva kalaveram. 8th chapter says that whatever thought we have at the time of death, that's what we become next life. So the forefathers, whoever it is, grandparents, grandfather, grandmother, they would have thought about the family when they left the body. So definitely that particular soul had some desire, unfulfilled desire in that particular family. So it's reborn. That soul is taken another body in that same family. And because the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, and false ego is almost the same, some impression that comes from the forefathers, it comes, and we feel like the grandparent has reborn, like as a grandchild, because of that unfulfilled desire. Might be that particular soul had so much desire and so much attachment to that particular family that they are reborn in that particular family itself, Mataji. So it's all karma. All the parents, children, forefathers, they all have share a particular karma so that they are reborn in that same family. So the features also they exhibit some features from them, like that. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.